Hello my flowy friends, and welcome to this class that I've created with equestrians in mind. So we'll be focusing on balance and strength, opening and lengthening the hips and stretching out hamstrings, the IT band and the inner thighs. So grab your mat and let's get started. So we're going to start today's session in the centre of our mat, standing in mountain pose. So have your feet about hip distance apart, really ground down through the feet, and then just start to lengthen up throughout the rest of the body, lengthening up through the spine, through your neck, and up through the crown of the head. You can relax your arms down and then just have your hands, your palms facing forward. And this is a good time to just take a few moments just to go inward a little bit. So maybe close the eyes and then just start to take a few deep breaths. And just allow your body just to arrive on the mat. And just starting to prepare your body for a little bit of movement. Lovely. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly blink open the eyes. Just take a moment to take in your surroundings. Lovely. From here, you're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Really reach up nice and high. Maybe take your gaze up in between your hands. As you exhale, you're going to bring your palms together, bring them down through heart center, and then just start to bend at the waist. Coming all the way down, letting the hands come down into a forward fold. Maybe have your knees bent here if that feels more comfortable. Just take a breath here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to slowly rise on up. When your hands come to the center, palms together, send the arms up overhead, reach up, maybe take your gaze up in between your hands again. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring it back down again, nice and slow. Start to fold from the hips, bringing the hands down, bringing you back to that forward fold. Inhale as you rise on up again, nice and slow and steady. Send the arms up overhead. Lift the arms up, maybe taking that gaze up again. And then exhale as you bring the hands down. Start to bend from your hips and bringing it back down into that forward fold. So just hold it in your forward fold now here. Take a few breaths. And then just see if you can bring your chest a little closer towards your thighs. So you can grab hold of the back of your legs, and just gently as you exhale, just draw that chest closer in towards those thighs, towards those knees. Lovely. From here, let's do a halfway lift. So nice flat back. And then exhale back down to your forward fold. Wonderful. From here, you're going to step your hands out to the front of the mat and then step your feet back into your downward dog. So send those hips nice and high. Let's push the heels down into the mat. Feel that nice stretch, that opening in the backs of your legs. Take a nice breath in. Let it go. From here, going to inhale, lift your right leg nice and high to your three-legged dog. Make sure you're pushing down into that left heel. So pushing that down into the mat. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to step that right foot forward in between your hands. Take a moment to find your footing, and then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, rise on up into your crescent lunge or high lunge. Send those arms up overhead. You want to draw your navel in. Gently pushing the back heels, that left heel, pushing it down. And just make sure that your knee's directly above your ankle here. Lovely. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to twist, pivot on that back foot, and open the arms up into your warrior two. Nice strong arms here. Have a little check-in with that front knee. Make sure that it's still in line with your hip. So not rolling inward. So we tend to roll the knee inward. So just gently push it back out if you feel that it is just rolling in slightly. And then just keep your shoulders nice and strong here. Taking a few breaths. Nice and strong in your legs. Nice and strong in your shoulders. Lovely. On your next inhale, you're going to pivot on that back foot. You're going to twist and turn to the front, sending the arms up overhead. And then you're going to exhale, bring your hands to frame your front foot. Drop your back knee, untuck those toes. And then you're going to straighten this right leg. So this front leg, straighten it out. Lift the toes so you come up onto your heel. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale as you lower your torso a little closer over your legs. So opening up your hamstrings here. Take a few deep breaths and really breathe into that stretch. Lovely. Inhale as you bend back into your knee. You're going to tuck your toes, lift your knee back off the ground, and then when you're ready, inhale, rise on up with the arms back to that crescent lunge. Lovely. From here, you're going to step that left foot forward to meet your right and just return back to your mountain pose. Just take a few breaths here. Lovely. From here, inhale as you lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, let's fold forward from our hips, coming back to that forward fold, knees bent if you need. Plant the hands and step both feet back into your downward dog. Once you arrive in your downward dog, you're going to inhale, lift your left leg nice and high. And then as you exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands at the front of the mat. Take a moment just to find your footing, and then when you're ready, inhale, rise on up with the arms, coming into that crescent lunge, that high lunge. Do a little check-in here, making sure knee is above the ankle. Push down through that back heel as well, nice strong legs here. It's also a good idea just to relax the shoulders down as you reach up high. Lovely, just steady breaths here. Lovely. On your next inhale, you're going to twist and open to the right this time, bending into that front knee, coming into your warrior two. So opening up through those arms. Nice strong shoulders, nice strong legs. And just make sure that you're pushing your weight into the short edge of your foot there. So pushing into that foot, keeping that bend in the knee, and again just checking that you're not rolling that front knee in. Lovely. From here, you're going to inhale, pivot on that back foot, turn to the front, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale as you bring your hands down to frame your left foot, drop your back knee, untucking the toes. And then when you're ready, just going to straighten that front leg, coming up onto your heels, so lifting those toes. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, just slowly lowering yourself over your leg. So feel that lovely deep stretch in the back of your left leg this time. Really breathe into it, so allowing you to open up a little more as you exhale. So nice deep breath in and then let it go. Lovely. Inhale deeply as you bend into your knee. You're going to tuck your back toes, lift that knee off the floor, and then when you're ready, you're going to rise on up again to that crescent lunge. Lovely. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a breath in and you're going to take that step forward with the right foot and then just return yourself back to your mountain pose. Lovely. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step both feet back to your downward dog. And just take a nice full breath in here and then let it go. Lovely. From here, lower your knees down to the mat. Just untuck the toes and then just come to sit on your heels for a moment. Lovely. From here, we're going to go into a half camel. So inhale as you come up onto your knees and just make sure that your knees are about hip distance apart. Now, you can stay with your feet flat or you can tuck your toes, which just brings the heels a little higher. So if this is your first time having a go at camel, then it's probably wise just to tuck your toes under. So from here, we're going to inhale and roll the right shoulder back. Just gently twist the torso over to the right side. And then you're going to drop your right hand down to your right heel. We're going to push the hips forward, so just tucking that pelvis under. And then inhale as we lift the left arm up to the sky. Now you can take your gaze out over to that right side, maybe down at that right hand, or maybe up to your left hand. So just see whatever feels good here. Take a few breaths. Lovely. Then inhale deeply as you bring your hands to your hips and you lift your torso back up and tuck the toes and then send your sitting bones back to your heels. Just take a breath. Lovely. From here, come back up on to your knees, but this time we're going to go into a gate pose. I'm just going to come to face you. You're going to send your right leg out to the side, so we're working on that inner thigh here. Make sure that the toes are nice and flat to the floor. You're going to inhale as you lift the left arm up, start to lean over to the right, and then slide your right hand down your leg. Feel a lovely side body stretch here, and then also feel that lovely inner thigh stretch on that right leg. Keep your arm alongside your ear here, just to keep your chest nice and open, and just to stop you rounding forward. Lovely. Stay here for a couple of breaths, so nice, smooth, steady breaths here. Lovely. Inhale as you lift the arms up. Just bring your knee back in and then just send your sitting bones back down to your heels again. Just take another breath. Lovely. Inhale, come back up onto the knees, making sure that they're still hip distance apart. Tucking those toes again if you need to, taking that camel to the other side. So inhale as you roll that left shoulder back, twisting over to the left side, dropping left hand to left heel. Inhale as you lift that right arm up. So make sure that you're pushing those hips forward. And then again, wherever you had your gaze on the other side, whether it was down, out to the side or up, just try and keep it the same this side. Nice, couple of breaths here. Lovely, and then inhale deeply as you bring your hands back to your hips, rise on it, untuck the toes, and then send the hips back down to your heels. Just take a breath. Lovely, come back up onto your knees. We're going to take that gate to the other side. So send the left leg out to the side this time, making sure that the sole of the foot is nice and flat to the mat. Inhale as you lift your right arm up and over to the left, sliding that left hand down your leg. Keeping that arm alongside your ear, so keeping that chest nice and open. And then just pay attention to the part of your body that you're feeling the most tightness or the most sensation. So that could be on your inner thigh, it could be your side body, it could even be around that right hip. Nice, smooth, steady breaths here. Wonderful. Inhale as you slowly lift yourself back up, draw your knee back in. We're going to come back down onto those heels. Just sit there for a moment, take a breath. Lovely. Then just start to lower your forehead down to the mat, coming into a child's pose just for a moment. Just allow your arms to come down by your side so your hands and your feet are in line with each other. And let's just take a few breaths here, really allowing the back and the shoulders to really release and open over the top of our thighs. So child's pose is always a great pose to do after you've done any type of back bend. It really does just help release. One more full breath in and out here. Lovely. And then just bring your hands in front of your, or in line with your face, and then inhale just to rise on up into that seat. We're going to come on to our bottoms now, swing the legs around in front, and you're going to bring the soles of the feet so that they're facing each other and let your knees fall apart. So coming into our bound angle pose. So your feet can be as close to the body or as far away from the body as feels comfortable. If you are going to bring them in quite close to the body, you need to make sure that your spine can stay nice and straight. So if you're fairly rounded through the spine and you're unable to straighten it up, then you've brought your feet in just that little bit too much. So just take them out. You can just do little movements, just send it out just a little by little, and then just see how you go with that. And then wherever you are, you're just going to take your hands and just grab hold of your shins, so just above the ankle there, just grabbing hold. You're going to inhale as you lengthen up through your spine, and then as you exhale, you're going to use your arms, so bend into your elbows, keeping the back as flat as possible, just leaning the chest forward. And then you can just press the elbows just gently on the insides of your knees. So taking some breaths here, think about where you're feeling the most tightness here. So where can you feel the tension? Where does it feel tight? Is it in your groin? Is it the inner thigh? It might even be in your back, so that lower lumbar region of your back. That's where you want to send your breath. And it could be that you're feeling really, really tight in this pose. It's quite a tricky one, especially if you're new to doing any type of yoga or movement. But the more you practice, the more open, the more flexible you'll become. Take a nice full breath in here. And then as you exhale, just slowly lift yourself up out of the pose. Fantastic. Just use your hands to draw your knees in, and then you're going to make your way down onto your back. Just take your time, coming down onto your back. Have your knees bent here, feet flat to the mat. And just make sure that that small part of your back is just pushed into the mat here. When you're ready, you're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee, your left thigh. Inhale as you lift your left knee up towards your chest, and then take your right hand, pop it through that gap in between your legs, and then interlace your fingers around your left leg. So either around your knee, maybe you've got them interlaced around the back of your thigh, either or, it really doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable. Take a nice full breath in, and then on that exhale, draw that left knee a little closer in towards your chest and actively push the right knee away from you. Breathe deeply here and feel this lovely intense stretch in your IT band, so on that right side. And just do a little check-in as well here with your shoulders. Make sure that the tops of your shoulders are not hunched up, so they're nice and relaxed down. And if you're finding that hard, a little trick is to think of your shoulder blades, which are against the mat, and just push them gently into the mat. And just by doing that, it automatically draws the top of your shoulders away from your face, away from your jaw. A few more breaths here, so really getting deep into your IT band. You can always take this pose a little deeper each time you exhale, so if you feel like on your next exhale you can just draw that knee in just a little bit, then just take it that little bit deeper, just don't push it too far. So always listening to the body. Lovely, take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, just slowly release the legs back down, uncross that right leg. And then just do some little windshield wipers, some little leg swishes. So drop the knees down to the right side, lift them up nice and loosely, and then send them over to the left. Just do this a couple of times, just to release the hips a little bit. Lovely, bring them back to center. Then you're going to cross this left ankle over the right knee, right thigh this time. Inhale as you draw that right knee in towards your chest. You're popping left hand in between that gap this time. Interlace the fingers around your right leg this time. And then on your next exhale, you're drawing that right knee closer in towards your chest. We're actively pushing the left knee away from us, so away from the body. Relax those shoulders down. Maybe close your eyes if that feels good. And then we're breathing nice and deeply into that IT band, into the groin. Steady breaths here. So no holding your breath. Always checking in with any pose that you do that you're not holding your breath. Sometimes we do it without even realising. It's an unconscious thing, holding our breath. And also gripping in areas of the body, other areas of the body. So often we can be scrunching the toes, scrunching the fingers, clenching the jaw. There's lots of places that we can grip and hold. We just need to let them go so we can focus our full attention on the area that we're working in that pose. Lovely, one more full breath in here, and then exhale, just slowly release the legs back down to the mat. Let's do those little leg swishes again. So dropping the legs nice and loosely down to the right, and then taking them over to the left. Just doing this a couple of times. Lovely, bring it back to center, and then you're going to bring the soles of your feet together again, like we did in our bound angle, letting the knees fall apart. So this is our reclined bound angle pose, or sometimes referred to as reclined goddess. So not forcing the knees apart, just letting them just naturally fall, let gravity just pull them apart. Soles of the feet together, staying nice and relaxed here. So torso nice and relaxed. And then for your arms, wherever feels comfortable, if you want to take them out to the sides, palms facing up, then you can do that, or you can send them up overhead as long as you have them nice and relaxed once they arrive there. Maybe you might want to cactus the arms, so doing that little cactus shape with your arms and your hands, so palms facing up as well, or maybe send them out to a T shape, so entirely up to you. I find just having my arms up overhead fairly loosely is really relaxing, just gives an extra little bit of a gentle stretch through the top of my torso, through my armpits. And then just try to slow your breathing down here. Really try to allow the body to become heavy now, so fully relaxed, fairly heavy. allowing the legs to become really heavy. Allow those hips to fully relax. Making sure that your belly stays nice and soft as you breathe. And then just take a few moments to notice how your body is feeling now. Hopefully you're feeling a little more open, a little more stretched out. Take a nice full breath in here. And then as you exhale, just bring your arms back down by your sides and just use your hands just to gently draw your knees back in together. You can draw your knees into your chest here, just give them a little squeeze. And then we're going to pop the hands behind the knees here, and then when you're ready, you're just going to do one little rock up to a seat. And then once you arrive here, maybe just grab hold of the knees, just take a moment, take a few breaths. Lovely, and then when you're ready, you can just bring yourself into a seated position. And again, just taking a few breaths here and just tuning into how your body is feeling right now. Wonderful. So on your final breath, let it go. And then that brings us to the end of this session. So I do hope that you enjoyed it, and I do hope that it really helps those of you that are regular horse riders. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this class, and also give me a little like and a subscribe. I'm going to be doing lots more classes like this in the future, so if there's anything that you're looking for or that you'd like to request, then please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.